How's it going, girl?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So excited to chat with you, girl. I'm pumped. I guess to start off, Priya, I love having people come on and kind of share their wins, share their experience in the academy. Because there's a lot of women who want to have a better relationship with food and their body, and they're fearful, or if they tried literally all the things. So I guess start off, if you feel comfortable, kind of just sharing where your life was at prior to meeting me. What were your struggles? What were you kind of going through when it came to your relationship with food?
Oh, wow. I didn't have a relationship with food. It was an on and off relationship. It was at one point I'll be really good with it and other points I wouldn't be. Honestly, before my eating habits were really poor, I wouldn't necessarily I wasn't as in tune with my body as I am now.
Mhm.
So that is a huge, I think, leap. But before I got even into this program, I thought this was a weight loss program. That's
Mhm.
initially what I had in mind. And yeah, there is that, eating habits and all of that, but usually that's an additive to a program. Like it would be like a small aspect of the whole fitness program or whatnot.
Yeah.
So before even coming into this program, I really didn't think about food. As I didn't think I had such an issue with food till I realized that I was a part of dieting culture.
Yeah.
Like I I didn't realize it. I had to kind of self-reflect and be like, wow, I've been vegan for a year, I've been vegetarian for 2 years, and then I started eating all the food that I wanted, and then I suddenly gained all this weight.
Mhm.
and and for 3 to 4 years I was so consistent with it. But
Yes.
even with that consistency, it was me just torturing myself. It was that no pain no gain mentality,
Mhm.
that if I don't feel the pain, then I'm not going to get the results that I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was such a tough love mentality that I had before coming into this program. So, and a lot of these programs are taught for you to not listen to your body and to keep going and to listen to your mind instead, and to have that, oh, we're building mental fitness here. That's why you have to keep going. And so I was part of that trope. I was part of that whole no pain, no gain mentality before coming
Mhm.
to this program.
Yeah, and I feel like so many people can relate to you. They've done all of these diets before, and they're wondering, why am I restricting and binging? Why am I on this like pendulum swing? Like, what the heck's wrong with me? Like, why can't I stick with it? But like you said, there's nothing wrong with us. It's just the diet culture has kind of created us to believe that we were supposed to, starve ourselves and just feel fatigued
Yeah,
all day long, right?
yeah, and I was doing intermittent fasting before I met you. So, um, I was grouchy. I was like, let's say the first half of the day, because I was working or going to school, I would not eat. I'll be like, okay, I have other things to do. I'll eat after I come back, and it fit into the diet of intermittent fasting. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wow, okay, this will work. And then I restricted myself. I'm like, okay, at 4 o'clock is when I should start eating, because I need to go from 8 hours to 12 hours fasting. And then there's some, and then what's that other diet called? I don't even know now because I'm in the program. But
What are diets? What's diets?
diet, um, keto diet. Like, people be eating just meat. I'm like, yo, you don't miss rice, you don't miss fruits, you don't miss like
Yeah. The
all
truth
these.
is, a lot of people miss those things, but they put the blinders on. They say, well, I'm doing this diet, so I can't do anything outside of this box,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then you just keep jumping on a different diet once you like, oh, you're craving something more. Maybe I should be vegan now because yeah, it's because you're craving carbs. So you can eat as many carbs as you want, as many veggies as you want, and then there's no calorie restriction with vegan diet.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
I
a
have
mess.
a lot of people coming to me who are either doing, keto or intermittent fasting, or at least they've tried it. So what was your hope in doing intermittent fasting? I know a lot of people say, well, the nighttime, that's when my cravings kind of spike up. So intermittent fasting is perfect. I don't have to, deal with my cravings late at night. What was your belief in terms of doing that?
Yeah, I thought I was a mukbanger. I loved watching mukbang. Mukbang was a thing, and it normalized binge eating. It like,
Mhm.
it was such a trend, and you would see so many people even doing it at home, just buying a bunch of stuff and trying it out.
Mhm.
So I thought, okay, if I could wait 4 hours, I could reward myself with not just one meal, but multiple meals.
Yeah.
And it was like I had a salad, not even a salad, let's be real. I had like lasagna or curry and rice, and then I would have dessert because I'm like, well, I deserve like some, I could eat again. I would have 3 meals
Mhm.
um, in a span of, I think, 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm literally just eating myself to like go to sleep, and so I could start this routine all over again.
Yeah.
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 So,
Absolutely.
so that was it for me. It's the fact that I was able to reward myself in ways that I could try multiple meals at one time. So it was aiding my binge eating anyways. Uh,
Yes.
and that's what it was really.
Yeah, it's almost like we feel like, you know, we feel safe in doing that because it's like, oh, we're following this diet. I could eat, thousands of calories at once. It won't be considered a binge. I'm doing intermittent fasting. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely get that.
And that's exactly what my thought process was. And
Mhm.
then I kind of ate more fast food too.
Mhm.
Because again, I was starving myself for 6 to 8 hours, then I would come home and then cook. No. I will go get something quick and easy. And I'll be like, well, 1,000 calories in a bag is okay because for the whole day I didn't eat.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a roller coaster for sure when we have that, restriction mentality, all or nothing mentality for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so before coming to me, what was like the main emotion that you were feeling? Like, were you just frustrated? Were you confused on what to do with your, with food? What emotion were you feeling?
Yeah. To be honest, I thought I was heading the right way
Mm,
by going into dieting. You
mhm.
know, I thought I was doing right for my body, and I thought I was being healthy, restricting certain things. When they say, less sugar, less sodium, more water, more this, and then you start like incorporating these rules into your everyday life, and then you're thinking, okay, you're doing something good for yourself.
Yep.
So yeah, it is going to pain you a little bit. It's not going to be easy. So you do fool yourself into thinking that you're doing the right thing
Yep.
when really you're just restricting your body even more.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize that till I came into the program, that I was actually restricting my body than giving my body the chance to adapt and change the way it should. Uh,
Yes. Ebb and flow. Ebb and flow.
yeah, yeah, that's what it is. And like I was really annoyed at certain parts of my body. I'm like, okay, I don't like the fact that I still have a gut, or that I still have, fat under my arms, whatever it was. Like I was so uncomfortable. I think I had a session with you like way early the first month. I would catch myself in the mirror and be like, ugh, I don't even do that anymore. I look at myself like, yes, okay.
Yes, girl.
Yeah, like I rarely, I would always think about what I should eat, my meal prep or lack thereof. The waking minute would be like, okay, what should I eat? What am I going to do for the day after school or work, whatever it is. I'll just be like, what food?
Yeah.
Food would be on my mind 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I hear that so often. Like I think about food all the time. Like, when is my next meal? How many calories does it have? Like, just it consumes so much. And for you, Priya, beforehand, when you were thinking about food all day long, what were you not able to experience because food and your body was on your mind all the time?
Yeah. So let's say if I didn't pack any lunch or whatever, right? I would have to kind of, so I remember there were moments where, like in the cafeteria or whatever, when I'm getting food, it's this decision, like I could eat pizza, but I could also eat salad. And you're like in this, like you're debating with your, okay, what should I, and you're like stuck, right?
Yes.
In this position. That's what it was like to me almost every day. Like it was this list. I have to consistently put so much effort into deciding what is good for me. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, and I start eating, like, let's say pizza instead of a salad,
Yeah.
I would start getting, okay, instead of Diet Coke, let me get a Coke. Okay. And then it's just like, screw it. I'm just going to start tomorrow, or I'm going to start next week. And it was just that reset and this yo-yo diet type of thing. It was a mess.
Yeah. And it's like we can do so well, and then as soon as we just have something like a little bit off our quote unquote diet or our plan, we think, well, screw it, I already messed up, let me just restart, fresh tomorrow or on Monday, right? Absolutely. I think that's
like even if I start eating at 2 p.m. instead of 4, I'd be like, okay, screw it, let's start next week.
Already blew it. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So we know that, diet culture isn't the way to go. So since being in the academy program, what did you learn about yourself? And, the way to view food and the way to live out a healthy, beautiful lifestyle. What are some things that you've learned that, you haven't learned before through these other diet culture programs?
There are a lot of things I've learned.
Yeah.
Because it's okay, like at the beginning of the program, it started off with certain guidelines. Okay, like you could maybe write your goals out for the day, or let's start incorporating like wait times before act out on your impulse. So there was little things that kind of then later on to the program became a behavior. So what I realized, that I don't need to write don't think about food next day anymore, because I simply don't. I have a morning routine in place where I'm meditating, and for crying out loud, I thought that was like a hippie jibby.
It was a woo-woo thing, right?
And 5 to 10 minutes is all you need to get your mind and be like, yo, it's just the morning, calm down.
Yeah.
Your body is just waking up. Give it some time to absorb the sun. Give it some time to know that you're okay. You're stabilizing your moods when you're breathing. And it has given, honestly, I've started incorporating stuff that I learned from here in other aspects of my life too, like moderation and learning to not have like this decision thing, this battle fight, but allowing the thoughts to just go by, and like letting just living and really experiencing in the now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and me just enjoying food without feeling guilty is the biggest part.
Yes, that
Yeah,
is huge. And just going back to the emotions and the
right.
thoughts as well. You know, the beauty thing is, you know, we're gonna have those thoughts coming into our mind. You know, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, and we're gonna have those thoughts pop up, but they don't need to marinate there. And I think that's such a beautiful realization that, you know, those thoughts can pop up, but they don't need to stay. We don't need to identify with them. That's something that, you know, you've learned as well, which I think is super powerful.
Yeah, and also the concept of like intuitive eating and like
Mhm.
gentle nutrition, all these things are ways to rewire your brain, like you said, right? Like it just, I'm these are just little things that you add day to day, and it just makes such a difference. I'm not doing any mukbangs anymore. I'm not enticed to do any diets. There are a couple of my friends who are doing intermittent fasting. They
Mhm.
were on it, and then when they were on it, they lost so much weight, and then they were off it, they gained back it all up, then they're on it and lost. And then I'm looking at it, I'm realizing more and more women, girls are on a some sort of diet. If it's not, intermittent fasting, it's them, oh, for a week I'm doing a juice cleanse, or for a week. I'm like, no, just if you learn to incorporate just every day,
Mhm.
just listening to your body, knowing the difference between thirst and hunger,
Yeah.
knowing all of these cues, you don't need a guideline. You don't need a diet to tell you, okay, you can't eat this, if you were just to listen to your body. And that's what meditation does. And that's what like your
Yeah.
exercise has taught us, to be in tune with our body. So even if we are hungry, but we want to celebrate something, yeah, I can have a little piece of cake. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That maybe tonight I'll have an apple and call it
Yeah.
a day. Like, I don't know.
Totally.
Something
And
like that. Yeah.
that's the beauty about listening to our bodies. And I know so many women, you know, feel that they can't veer off their diet because they fear, you know, losing control, kind of spiraling out of control. So what was your, I guess, experience in terms of just giving yourself more grace, giving yourself more freedom? And how did you, what ended up happening for you? Did you end up finding balance? I know you said you're no longer feeling guilty with food, which is
No.
amazing.
I'm not binging anymore. I am toned as fuck. Sorry if I no, if I
Love it. Totally fine.
I'm toned as F, and I wasn't on a diet. When they say that 70% is what you eat, or whatever BS that they throw at you, listen to your body. Your body is so unique to you. And what I found, like with me, especially what I've learned, yes, I don't feel guilty when I eat, but I've accepted that this is the type of body that I am built for.
Yeah.
I'm not meant to have a size for booty or whatever it is. I'm not meant to have that. I'm meant to be a very thick girl. And if I'm a thick girl, what can I do to be the best shape
Yeah.
possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
My waist size is not going to be as tiny as my friends. Maybe I won't be able to fit into my friends' clothes.
Yeah.
But what is best, like, shape for me? I'm the best shape of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in university, I was 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah. Yep.
Thought that was the best shape of my life. That was a mess. That was a girl who would binge eat at nighttime,
Mm,
run miles the next morning because she was so anxious that she ate all that food that night.
yeah.
and starve herself sometimes, and then eat so much, and then it was a mess, and I was so skinny.
Yeah.
That wasn't health. I'm so healthy now. Like, I'm eating more vegetables and like like
Yeah.
fruits, and I have so much energy. Like, I would wake up at 5 in the mornings. Like, it's I just I go based off the feelings that I feel. Like, if I eat a fast food, I feel lazy. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's okay for me to feel lazy, but not all the time. So I
Yeah.
might, get a shake in there or whatnot. So I've
Mhm.
learned to be more empathetic, like understand myself more. And
Yeah.
I've learned to listen to my body and to be more in tune with me.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Like our body has all the answers. Our body knows the truth, and we gotta tap into it. We gotta actually listen to what it's asking for. I love that. And how you said, when I was at my lowest weight, I was actually like unhealthy. And I think, we're so often women are chasing, like, I just gotta lose the weight, I just gotta lose the weight, I just gotta lose the weight. And I lost the weight before, but what were you doing? Were you enjoying life? Were you restricting? Were you binging? Were you depriving yourself? Or were you able to go on these spontaneous date nights and being able to allow yourself to eat foods without feeling guilty? So I love that you mentioned that. It's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and that's another thing. Before coming into this program, I would keep dresses and shirts from, it's gonna be a little much, from uni, so I could fit back into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was 5 years ago. I have boobs now. I haven't booty now. I'm a woman. And
Exactly.
like,
Yes.
why am I fitting my ideal into something that was 5 years ago while I'm still growing? And I'm like we, that's most of our problem, right? We would look back like 5 years back, 10 years back for some folks or whatever, and they
Mhm.
look and they're like, wow, I was so skinny. I'm like, yeah, because you were young. You were
Yes.
young, and you were able to, maybe if you were on a diet then, you were able to lose weight like that, but your body has changed and it's
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah, and it's a sign of respect too to wear clothes that fit us. Like us trying to squeeze into, a pair of leggings or a dress that we had 5 years ago. It's not respectful for ourselves.
Yeah, and it's not realistic either. Like, I think that's another part of this program is, when I first came into this program, like, okay, Lorna, what is the diet plan? What is the meal plan? And
Yep.
they're like, there is no meal plan. And I was like, I felt so lost. I'm like, this girl,
Yeah.
she's like, she's talking about a sustainable health project and there's no meal plan. So I was taken back, but I'm like, okay, but I like this. I like that I have a freedom in here. And
Mhm.
it's more of a really just rewiring your brain and just changing your behavior a little by little. You're
Yeah.
not gonna see a biggest change right away, but
Mhm.
I think 4 months into this, and I've lost more weight than before.
Mhm.
I've gained more independence with my food thoughts, my choices,
Yep.
more freedom. I'm not like trying on 20 different clothes before I head out the door,
Mhm.
because I feel confident with the body that I'm in.
So
And just food wise, just any, like, I don't binge anymore. And you know what? I haven't done mukbang in like 4 months. And I'm like, what am I doing?
yeah.
Like, mukbang meals, I haven't done that. I
Mhm.
haven't. And like, the frequency of me going to do fast foods and stuff, I haven't. Because you know what? I listen to my body.
Yeah.
That's
That's
all it takes.
exactly. And I love how you said that it takes time, because how many years have we struggled with the dieting mentality, restricting? It's like it's going to take time to rewire the brain. This is not an overnight success, but you're just proof that if you show up and you put in the work, you can rewire your brain. You can no longer feel guilty after eating certain foods, and you can no longer binge eat, which is huge, girl. So proud of you.
I know, like, I think when you first messaged me about this video, I'm like, wins. Okay, should look back. And then I'm like, yeah, remember mukbang meals, Priya? Remember you did that? I'm like, yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, remember intermittent fasting when you were between intermittent fasting and then being vegan for a few days? Remember that? So yeah, and honestly, I've seen this with my coworkers, I've seen this with my friends. It's such a huge problem.
Yes.
And the market is just taking advantage of that.
Totally. 100%.
That's what it is. And you're just trying to be honest with women, because every woman is built differently. Every man is built differently. There is no one big solution or an ultimate solution for one person, for everyone. Like, that's why you gotta listen to your body, because it is unique to you. And that's why you're unique as a person, because it's your own system and you gotta listen to it. And that's when you know if you're hungry or not.
Yes. Amazing.
Like,
so
it's a huge light bulb moment that I had.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know people are like, what's the meal plan? Like, what diet do I need to follow? And it's like, hold on, we're going to do things differently. We're actually going to get to the root cause and reprogram your behaviors with food so that we no longer feel impulsive. We no longer self-sabotage with food. So I love that. So what drew you to me? Obviously there's a lot of, programs out there. So what drew you to me in particular?
Hold on that thought. I'm just gonna quickly charge this.
Okay.
Give me a second.
No worries.
In here. All right. Sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah. So what drew you particularly to me and my mission?
Right. It was the stories you would tell. At first I was like, girl, these are too long for me to read. Right. And then I started reading and actually started like, oh wait, like I think I read one sentence and like, are you just tired of dieting or something?
Yeah.
And I kept reading it. And then I'm like, this is my life. This is my story. This is exactly how I feel. And then I'm looking at you, I'm like, girl's built as hell. And she went through, this type of journey. Like, she went through this process. She knows, like, exactly what I'm feeling. If, for example, when I was debating between the beginning of the stages of, being in this program, when I was debating between, should I eat McDonald's? Should I not eat McDonald's? Then you're like, what do you like about McDonald's? I'm like, chicken nuggets. I love their chicken nuggets. I'm like, okay, let that be your meal. So you can't turn that down, but you could turn other things down. But it doesn't have to be like that. And it was a direct solution. It was like, okay, you could do this. You could do that. Why don't you, okay, you feel like you don't have a nice balanced week. All right, let's make a picture of how a balanced week would look like. So it was a direct approach, and giving these many solutions, not just one, but multiple solutions that can possibly work for you. And it wasn't this, a lot of trainers or even a lot of nutritionists, they have like, you could only eat this much, you could only do this, you could only do that. And it's like a lot of no's that you hear.
Yeah.
But the language you share is very positive, and I hear a lot more yes than no. And it makes me be more inclined to be in this program, because I'm like, well, I don't feel as restricted. And even if I'm feeling shitty, it's okay. I still love myself because I am more than my body. Tell me what trainer or nutritionist would tell you that. No one.
Yeah.
Because they would like to pry on you for the fact that you don't like your body, and you're not that. You're this genuinely honest person who would be like, this is what I went through. These are some things that I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
So do it. And I did it, and I'm here. Like,
and it worked.
and it worked. That's all it took. That's all it took.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the last thing I would like to hear from you, I know there's tons of women who want to have a better relationship with food. They want to end the binge eating cycle, but they are fearful. So what is some advice that you have for them if they're on the fence, or they think it's not a good time, or I just don't know, or I'm skeptical? What advice would you have, since you've been through the program and you've ended your binge eating, you're no longer feeling guilty with food? What advice can you give them?
My advice is take a chance on yourself for once.
Mm-hmm.
Stop listening to social media. Stop listening to all these other, what they claim themselves as nutritionist or fitness coach or whatever it is. Educate yourself on diet culture first, so you understand that this is not normal. This is not for you.
Yeah.
And do something for yourself where you're not going to feel restricted. Like, I myself, like, struggled with binge eating, just having such a bad relationship with food, and learning just a few tips already within the first 2 months. I've already learned so much. So do that for yourself. Just try it. Just try it, and you will learn something even if it fails. Like, even during this process, when I failed, I understood why I failed and learned that, okay, I shouldn't restrict myself like that anymore. And the more and more I give myself opportunities and options of food or whatever it is, like, I don't feel as inclined to be like, oh my God, I need to eat all of this in one night because I can never have it again. Like, you won't feel that again. Just give this program a shot, because I truly, truly, genuinely believe in your program, Lorna, and the honesty and the humility you have with it as well. You just being really honest with clients and being transparent with them. A lot of those times, I never got that. Like, not even sometimes with the therapist, but not all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what it was. It was not just the fitness aspect, it was the whole mind, body, soul experience. And at first, I thought it was a hooba dooba woohoo type of thing, but trust me, I am so zen. And try it. Just try it and see if it even works. And I guarantee it will, because it worked for me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Tell me, so you've had a therapist before, and of course they've helped you in multiple areas of your life. Has it helped you with your relationship with food and binge eating?
Honestly, no. My therapist, she helped me with other aspects, but she knew that I was, doing intermittent fasting and doing all these type of diets, and it wasn't like a cue for her to understand, okay, there's another part of this issue that we're missing or that we need to look more into. And that's when you step in, and where your program wasn't just about fitness or the biology part of the body, but it was the whole aspect of your mind, doing inner child meditation and all of these things. You'd be surprised to how much it can affect the way you view yourself, and how you don't have to people please anymore, or you could be more kinder to yourself, or just being able to understand that when you're trying to do this, you can't just focus on the mind, you can't just focus on the body. It has to be both, because they work in unison. It's a symbiotic, beautiful relationship, and we have to honor that. And that's what your program does, really.
Yeah, no, I love that. I've actually did therapy myself for a few sessions, and yeah, I didn't
It's
find
not for everybody.
for me, but I mean,
Yeah.
mind you, I know that, there are so many things that you can benefit from having a therapist, right? And it is for some people and it's, not for some. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, girl, I love you.
I know I'm lovable. Okay. Okay. I have so much confidence now that people just come to me and they're so like amazed. They love my energy. Like I literally had my manager say, I love your energy. You're so like up there. I'm like, cause girl, I just went out for a run and I'm feeling the day. That's why. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm literally like you, how you were.
Yeah. And it's so funny because we think that we need to like lose weight to feel confident, but you have a different energy to you when you know who you are, when you know your values, when you have good routines in place. And like people feel that energy. Like I feel your energy. Like it's
Yeah.
rock solid, girl.
Like I said, when I was skinny, I didn't have that. I didn't have that confidence. I was craving that confidence from somewhere else. I was having people tell me, "Oh, am I skinny? Did I lose weight?" I was like seeking that from people. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, I don't care what you tell me. I know me. I know my body. I might get rejected by 1,000 guys, but I'm still hot. It's that mentality that I have, and it's beautiful. It's honestly beautiful because it's a process, but the process is beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing your heart, sharing your experience. I know you're gonna just by having a few women even watch this, they're gonna just be so inspired, and you've given them so much hope. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, I really hope so. And just honestly, just give yourself a chance, man. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
just freaking do it. Let's
do
go.
it. What are you no, seriously, what are you gonna lose? What
Mm-hmm.
are you going to lose? Like, you're not going to lose anything, and you're the least judgmental person out there. I cried so many times in your video calls, and you were just there listening. You didn't say, "Hey, pick yourself up and get your ass out." No, I didn't get that. I got kindness and unconditional love, and that's what you gave me. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, girl.